Good morning. How are you today? Do you want to know how you can manage your negative emotions? If you suffer from depression or anxiety, this is a simple technique that you can do to actually change the way that you feel by changing your beliefs. I haven't actually gone into this in previous videos, so this is a new technique that I'd like to talk about, that where you can change your beliefs and therefore change your moods and your emotions. So I have spoken in the past about how our beliefs are made up of evidence or data that we've taken on. So this could have been through our parents or our peers or family, workmates, or our life experience. And these experiences or these things that we take on culminate and they form our beliefs. Our beliefs are not necessarily the truth about the world, but they are our truth. So sometimes our beliefs are not necessarily good for us. They're not always positive. And sometimes our beliefs stop us from functioning at a higher level. So how do you change a belief? You can do that by using behavioral experiments, and they can help you to change what you think to be true, what is your truth, what you believe, to change your belief so that you can think a more healthy belief, so that you can function better in your life. So how do you do that? You can gather evidence that supports your new belief. So know that our thoughts are mood congruent. So for instance, if you're feeling angry, you'll have an angry thought. And if you're feeling sad, you'll have a sad thought. Or if you're feeling happy, you'll have happy thoughts. And these strong emotions will conjure up all of those old angry thoughts, sad thoughts, or those happy thoughts. And so our beliefs are very resistant to change. And so we can't just make a decision to change a thought. We have to back this up with more evidence. And once we can do that, and we do this experiment over and over and over, collecting data, collecting more evidence, our subconscious mind will then take on the new belief because we have enough data to back up this new belief. So for years, looking at our old beliefs, we may have taken on what our parents taught us, or taken on what other people taught us, and we believe that to be true because we've got that data, we've collected the information. And so let's give you an experiment or a way to do this. So let's have a look at anxiety. So you may think of yourself as an anxious person. Anxiety, in my experience, is never as bad as you think it's going to be. It's like you're projecting into the future that you're going to feel that way. So anxiety for me was something that I've always worked on. So I always thought I was an anxious person. And I've had to really, really overcome this. And one of the ways I've done this is by using this technique. So, for instance, when I thought I was anxious or going to be anxious, I would be thinking, oh my God, my breathing is going to change. I'm going to be breathing hard. And then I focus on that. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I believe I'm going to have a panic attack. Or I believe that I'm going to freeze. If I'm in a situation where I feel really anxious, I used to freeze. And so this was all playing out in my subconscious mind constantly. And I don't know what it is for you. It might be the same kind of thing. These are really, really common ways or ways of thinking when you are feeling anxious. So the breathing changes. It's all physiological here, but obviously it plays an emotional record in our subconscious as well. And so when we have these physiological things going on with us, our brain and our beliefs will form even more firmly because we are in a heightened state, and so we believe these things to be true. So I used to believe myself as an anxious person. You might believe yourself to be anxious now. So then if you take on that belief and you want to change that belief, you can test. So you can pick something that you think will make you anxious. But pick a tiny little thing. Don't pick anything that's going to make you have a panic attack straight on. So what we want to do is change this belief from I'm always anxious to a new belief. So just pick something that you feel is achievable, but you're going to be a little anxious. It might be driving your car to a new place that you haven't been before. And your brain could say, I'm going to get lost. I'm going to have a panic attack. Whatever it says, take a note of what your mind says and write these down. And then put a map in your car, get your Google Maps, get, whoever it is talks to you in your car when you're driving to, punch in the destination, and then drive to your destination. And you might find that you drive to that destination problem-free. And so that old thought that you had of, I'm going to get anxious driving the car, is it still the truth? Or was it a projection? And if you did the test and you got to the destination and you didn't feel anxious, what new beliefs could you think? What did you learn from this experiment? So write down the new learnings. Write down the new beliefs that you have about yourself. And this is a tiny little win. It's, when you do this, it's a small thing that you do, and then you take down some new learnings, keep it in a file or in a book, so you can look at your old beliefs and you can look at the new learnings, and you can start seeing, as you build up more data, build up more experiments, this old belief is no longer true and this new belief is true. So your new belief might be, I can drive to a new destination anxiety free. That's a nice one to have. And so you then can do a different experiment. So then maybe think of something that makes you a little bit more anxious and test that as well. So write down your belief about that, do the experiment, and then find out what was different for you. How can you prove your old belief to be false? We could look at depression as well this way. If you're feeling depressed, you might have a thought of nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do in this world that's going to make me happy. And I know this because I too have felt depressed. So when I was in my worst depression, I couldn't see anything. I could just see like a blank in my future. I couldn't feel emotions anymore. And in that state, one of my beliefs was, nothing's going to make me happy. It's not worth being here. I feel pointless. Life feels pointless. And so that's not a really good belief to have, because when you're in that state, again, you freeze, there's no inclination to do anything. So when we're changing beliefs, we have to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So what I did was I had a coffee with a friend, and this might be something simple that you can do. Somebody who's understanding, somebody who understands depression, somebody who understands that you might not want to talk about what's going on. You just might want to be in silence, but go for a walk or have a coffee, and that's it, and then go home. So maybe if you're feeling like this, find somebody who you completely trust and say to them, I'd like to go for a walk, or I'd like to go for a coffee. And do the same thing. Note how it makes you feel. Do you feel slightly better afterwards? And I know for me, I felt so much better afterwards, and we didn't talk about anything that was making me feel depressed. We just literally went for a walk by the beach and had a coffee. And when I got back, I felt a little bit happier, not completely happy, but my thought of nothing can make me happy wasn't the truth. I was able to go out for a coffee and a walk with my friend and feel a bit happier. And so therefore I kept doing different things, different experiments to prove that old thought and that old belief wrong, and take on this new belief that actually made me feel happier. So I hope this makes sense for you. However you're feeling, if your old belief does not serve you in the moment, you can change your beliefs. You can. There's many ways of doing this, but this is a simple test that you can do where you build up evidence, build up data that really supports your new belief. And when you do this, and you constantly do this, you challenge your old beliefs and start forming new beliefs. It's amazing how quickly your subconscious mind takes on those new beliefs, because actually it wants you to feel better. It wants to protect you. It wants to serve you. And your strong, happy emotions will take over. And so please, I would love to know in the comments, have you tried this before? Are you willing to give this a go? And if you are, please let me know how you feel. If you need any help with this, if you're feeling completely stuck, know that that's okay. Sometimes we need outside help to help us work through this as well. So if you are needing that, please contact me and we'll find out a way how we can work together. So thank you so much for being here. I hope this really helped you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.